What is up, everyone? Today I'm just going to be demonstrating how to fully take apart the Type 26 and avoid a mistake that I did as well. First up, we'll be just doing a how-to field strip, and then I'll show you how to get more in depth into this. So let's begin. So first, obviously, you want to check to make sure that the gun is clear. I doubt you have ammo for it because no one makes any, but either way, you still want to make sure that there's no ammo. Next, what you want to do, see this little knurled part at the bottom, you push in, and then you push forward, so you push that way, and then it should just pop out like that. Next, you'll see some more knurled part right here. Take your fingernail and just lift up, and it pops up. It's the reason why you pull this out is because this little part, this little nub, latches into this little nub right here. You flip all the way over, and you can see the internals. So first, what you want to do is carefully take this piece of wood out. There you go. Carefully, as I said. These are fragile. As you can see, this one's cracking. And just set that aside. And there you go. That's pretty much field stripped. So next, what we're going to want to do is take out this spring right here. Forgive me for my terminology with revolvers. I'm not too familiar with revolvers and how they operate. But what you want to do, you can see there's a tiny little hole right there. All you do is just lift up, and then that just comes out. Pretty easy. You can see a little nub right there, and set that off to the side. Next, this is also pretty easy. Lift up right here. So if you saw that, all you're doing is lifting up this little piece, and it pops out. Set that off to the side. Then now you can take your trigger guard off. It just pops straight back towards you. And then this part, I just move this little hand to the side and lift up. And then what you can do is also take that apart. All right, next you can also remove the hammer and hammer assembly to take the revolver or the cylinder off, lift up on the latch, and then screw counterclockwise. You can see it start to come up, and then you just pull up. You can see it has a little bit of threading right there. That's all you do. So now is when you kind of need tools. So first, we'll start with the hammer assembly. And all you need is just a little screwdriver, and just unscrew this little bit. There you go, it comes off. Now, this is the part that I screwed up at. What also comes out is this little piece. However, this should be 1 and not 2 because I broke it. Make sure you don't put it behind right here, even though there's a groove for a spring. You don't put a spring there. You just put it right here. And how it should look is similar to this V-spring. However, this side should be flat and this side should be curved like it is. And all you would do is put the spring just like this. I did it the opposite way and put it like this, and I am an idiot, and I am showing you how not to be an idiot. So remember, flat side, this side, flat side, push on this side. Make sure the V is facing up, and then you can reinstall this stuff again. Next, what you could do is unscrew all of these screws. However, these are really stiff, and all they do is just remove the panel right here. I'm not going to deal with it, as you can tell. People have already started stripping it, and this is before I even got it, so I'm not even going to worry about that. All right, next you'll also need another flathead screwdrivers, and these screws should be relatively easy to come loose. You shouldn't, when reinstalling these screws, don't crank down on them. You get that. And then there's one more bit right here. Now this looks like it's riveted in, but it's not. Just take a little punch, take a little mallet, just go ding, and that pops it out. Pull that out, remove your punch, and you can pull this guy out. Now keep in mind the position of this nub and the little ratchet right there. That's how you want to have it when you reinstall everything. So we have this little middle piece right here that's actually 3 pieces. This is what makes the ejector eject the shells. So you can see there's a little tiny spring in there. All you can do is just either lift up on this side or just push it out like that, and it will come out. Just try to keep your fingers over the spring so it doesn't pop out. Next, we'll take off this bit. Again, you just need a screwdriver. It's pretty simple. You can pull that straight out. You can see how that pin looks, or that screw looks. And you just, this is a little tight. There you go. That's how that looks. So set those off to the side. We're now done with this. You can take this off. However, there's a pin in there. It's pretty tight in there. I don't feel like dealing with it today. You can see it right there. So I'm not going to deal with it today. This one's pretty easy. However, be warned, keep your finger behind right here because this is spring loaded. And what I like to do is press in just a little bit on this to relieve the pressure of this pin. If that's not working for you, just take a little punch and stab a hole through the other side, and it pushes it in, just like that. Now be careful because this is spring loaded. These will fall out. So you'll have, besides the screw right here, you have the latch itself, and then if it wants to come out, we have these two little pieces. Do not lose these pieces. You will never find them again. And then that is the barrel, pretty much disassembled. You can take off the front sight if you want to. You can see there's a little pin. It's just pinned in place, but I don't feel like doing that because why do you need to clean the front sight? All right, last up we have the cylinder here. And this is also spring loaded, so be careful. You can see the way to take it out is through this pin right here. So keep your finger on the top here, just press. And yes, I know my punch is a little wonky. Oop. And try not to lose that piece either. So now this assembly should come out. You should have a spring, this little captor, this little pin, the ejector, and then the cylinder itself. Now for the hammer as well, there's this little part here that has a tiny pin. You can kind of see that's flush. I'm not going to deal with taking that out today. And I try to get it all in shot, but as you can see, these are all the parts. So now we'll move it out of the way and you guys can see how to put it back together. All right, we'll first start out with just doing the cylinder here, and it doesn't really matter which way you start it. You just don't want to do the hammer assembly first. So all you do is just make sure you line up your ejector here, and I do see on mine, I don't know if you can see that there, it's not flush completely at this part. So what I like to do is find when it is flush. You can see now all of them are flush. So it's just something I like to look out for. Next, you want to throw your spring in. It doesn't matter which way, it's just a spring. Then throw your captor on. I don't know what this part is called, so forgive me. And you're just trying to find the hole, which right there, I have it. Then what you do, you just take your pin. There you go. Now it's captivated. Now it's captive, I guess. And just take your little mallet and just smack it. And there you go. Now it's captive. I do throw some lube on here and also the ejector stem as well. So just to make it smoother when in operation. Cool, then we can next take our barrel receiver, and then we can also take our cylinder and just throw it in and just start screwing clockwise. Remember, there's those threads there. You might need to push a little bit in, but then now it's set. You can tell it's set because it'll be flush or a little bit under the part right here. Then next we can grab our latch. So grab all the parts of that, which should be the latch itself, the spring, the pin / screw, and then whatever this little piece is called. So take your pin, or take that little piece and take the spring. I like to angle it up, so gravity's on my side. And once it's kind of seated in there, you just let it drop. Next, take your latch, line up the holes, push down into the crevice right there. And then this one kind of takes a little bit of muscling. Just keep your finger on that so it has pressure and doesn't put pressure on the pin itself. Screw that in, and don't make it too tight as well. It doesn't need to be very tight. All it is just a fulcrum that this can rotate on and pivot on. All right, that's pretty much that top part done. Next, we'll get to the lower bit here, is to get these three pieces, that tiny little spring that I said not to lose, this little ratchet point, and then also this little fulcrum as well. So this one's kind of hard to do. You can see there's a little cutout for that spring. So, and make sure you have the bending part, just like that. So it's making an arch, and like a reverse arch. And all you want to do is just slide it in. All right, there we go. We got it seated in now. And you just keep your finger on top and just push in till it's all the way there. So now, what you want to do is a little tricky. I put a little bit of lube in here, so that helps. Make sure that ratchet right here is laying on top, and then this part is straight up like this. Then you attach the 2 points, making sure not to hit that nub, causing it to move, and then you have to reset everything. It's a little stiff, which is fine. You could throw some lube on there to help it move. And now it should snap in like that. Then take your female screw and your male screw. Female screw goes on the other side, and make sure that the nub at the top here is going to go straight into that little cutout right there. And that way this doesn't move. Then you can finger tighten, and you don't want to do it too tight. Just like about 4 pounds of torque would be perfect. So then you just function, make sure that it moves and snaps in like it should, not moving. Now when I lift it up, there we go. Now it is, ejector works, cool. Next up, we'll just throw the back plate on, or the side plate, I should say. So grab the side plate and grab the screw for it, right there. And now just screw it in. And again, don't do it too tight. You don't want to be that guy who strips the screw or causes other people to strip the screw. So just a little, like about 4 pounds of torque is fine. And you can function test. Yep, that closes. And it won't be latched until you put the trigger guard in. We'll start with the hammer assembly. So you'll want to grab your hammer. You'll want to grab, I don't know what this part is called. You'll want to grab this little screw. You'll want to grab the small V spring. And like I said, I broke mine, but it should look like just a smaller version of, a way smaller version of this, flat on the bottom, no hook right here. What you'll want to do, put the flat part up this ridge right here, and then take this part and make sure, really quick, that's facing up like this, not facing down, facing up. And screw this back in there. Doesn't have to be so tight. There you go. Then throw that right on this peg right here and move this guy up. Next, you'll want to grab the trigger, and I like to open the cylinder really quick. Put the trigger right here. Grab the teeth right here, right into the pin, and then there's a little cutout for this pin right here. You see it right there, and it just sits in there nice and gently, and you can see where it's sitting right here. So then you take this spring right here, it flips over like this, and there's a little cutout in the teeth here. You can kind of see it right here. Slip that through and hook it onto this screw, and that won't have any tension just yet. Then what you want to do is grab this last spring. There's that little nub like I was talking about earlier. You throw it into this tiny hole. What I like to do first is hook it, if I can. Hook it there. and then you lift it up a little bit and push down. Then grab your trigger guard, push it right in there. You wait for it, grab your wood, gently and nicely put it back in. Flip this over. Now it's in, now it's latched. You close this, and there you go. The Type 26 disassembled and reassembled. Make sure to function check. If you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. I noticed that there wasn't a whole lot of Type 26 how to disassemble stuff, so here you go. You can also learn from my mistake. Please do. If not, this video is in vain, and my poor little spring is also in vain. Comment down below what videos you want to see. Yeah, just give this channel a like, subscribe, and comment down below. Thanks.